Hello everyone, my name is Sneha from Informatica GCS. In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to use SIF PUT API to post messages to JMS queue. JMS enables messaging between loosely coupled processes. Loosely coupled for purposes of messaging means the messages are independent of one another. The interaction between the process can be synchronous or asynchronous. If the process sends a message while the message consumer is not running, the messages waits in JMS provider's queue until the message consumer is available. The contents of these messages can vary, but the data within the message is usually expressed as XML. Taking advantage of data flow that occurs with JMS, you can eliminate the need to invoke a service such as database management that runs on premise. The MDM publishing process generates XML messages when data changes in MDM. Those messages are placed in an outbound JMS queue. External application and system can retrieve XML messages from queue to get the data updates. Before you configure the publishing process, the JMS queue and connection factory must be set up in application service on which MDM is deployed. There are two queues which get created during the installation process. First one is Informatica MDM SSS JMS queue, which is used for communication between MDM and Informatica data integration platforms such as Smart Search. And second one is Saparian SIF JMS queue, which is used for SOAP calls to Saparian Integration Framework. MDM sends messages to JMS queue in two ways. First one is hub configuration. When configuring the hub console for a specific event trigger associated with a JMS queue, the MDM system publish each relevant event as an individual messages to designated queue. You can view these details in the cRepos MQ data change table for the corresponding ORS. Second way is SIF API. When using the SIF API for asynchronous operations, marking the request as asynchronous causes the MDM system to process it later instead of immediately. By specifying the JMS reply to parameter in such calls, you can configure a JMS queue to receive the response once processing is completed. This allows client application to asynchronously receive and handle the responses, improves the system scalability and responsiveness. Additionally, using JMS correlation ID helps correlate requests with their replies for effective tracking. You can also use these loggers for debugging message triggers in CMX server logs. In this video, I will be demonstrating option B via SIF API in 10.5HF4 MDM. Here we can see three queues are configured under JBoss console. First one and third one are the queues generated via MDM installation, and second queue is the new outbound queue I have created for demonstration purpose. To create a new outbound queue, we can configure it in standalone full.xml, which is present under JBoss standalone configuration. This is the entry of new outbound queue which I have created. To apply all these changes, we have to restart the services. Here I will be using put API. Since it is asynchronous request, I have made it as true, and I have configured the name for JMS reply to, and I have given unique ID for JMS correlation ID to identify the request, and I have given system name and source key to identify a record. Here I will be updating first name of party table. Record I will be taking, the first name is test123. Now I will be updating it to test. Since it is asynchronous, the response will be, the request will be processed asynchronously. The name has been updated to test. We can see that in JBoss console. Here we can see the message has been increased, which means request has been processed and response went to JMS queue. So this is all about today. We would love to hear from you. Thank you.